one, somebody talked about the final one, somebody talked about peace or war. Imagine 1/6 of the world is affected by conflict, armed conflict. 18.1 million children are living with displacement due to displacement, either internal or external, as refugees. And 250,000 children are still what we may consider as child soldiers. They are recruited and forced to fight when they should be doing something else. And there are many countries where landmines are there and children are left to play in fields where there may be landmines which can make them by exploding, and you least expect that. And these are the kind of things which is today's world. And now go back to the promise and ask the questions on where are these promises and how we'll make those promises a reality. So 2010, September, as I said, there are these people coming together. You've got to go and look out. When you Google, look out for opportunities to express your views. Get into those groups where you can ask the right questions. Inform yourself of the plight of your brothers and sisters in different parts of the world and different parts of the country, and start asking the questions so that there is a better informed society. And then action hopefully will follow. You saw those recent information about WikiLeaks about the plight of American soldiers in Afghanistan. And things like that. Once information comes out on the public domain and people ask the right questions, then action follows. If they don't act on their own, then there is another way. You need to start exerting your pressure and your power. You do have power in today's world. Twitter, all these new spaces that are created, they're wonderful. In UNICEF, if you go under the UNICEF website, there is VOY, which is Voices of Youth. You can open an account and ask questions. Many of these are at different points of time put together to share with leaders and political masters so that they are aware of what the children are dialoguing on. Okay? I will stop. Here are some of these sites from where you can get much more information. Particularly the last one is the one where you can download databases of different countries, start looking at issues by regions, provinces, and find out more about your brothers and sisters in other parts of the world. Thank you. Okay, maybe we'll collect a few more questions and then that's fine. Okay, any more? Yes. Okay. More? Okay, let me answer them while others are still thinking. All countries have public health programs. Some, particularly in developing countries, there is what is called a public health system, which has what is called a primary health center and extension workers who go to different villages and conduct programs. They conduct two types of programs. One is called a preventive program, like immunization campaigns and immunize children against various diseases. Another is curative program, which is when people are sick, they come and seek help and seek treatment. Unlike this country where you have an insurance system or you have a system of going to ER if you have a problem, there in most developing countries, there is an institution which is supposed to deliver services, and these are government centers, and depending on how well the government is stocking these centers, with medicines. They may have the medicines, they may not have the medicines when the problem happens. Usually, the poorer countries, medicines run out within the first few days of the stock's time. So people have to depend on private practitioners. And the private practitioners will be fleecing their patients. So that is how that's part of the problem. The problem is that they are not efficient enough, they are not delivering enough. At the same time, many of the programs in the since 2000 have improved. There is a real costing, there is improvement progressively, but not adequate enough. They are not resourced well enough. Some of them are borrowing monies from World Bank and from aid from other countries, and they try to progressively improve them, but sometimes they may not have the right medicines. For example, since till 2004, when it comes to HIV and AIDS, the antiretroviral drugs were not affordable. But after that, when the generics are now permitted in public interest by the companies which actually originally manufactured them or patented them, now these drugs are available in large numbers to a number of countries, and they are reaching. And yet they are not reaching adequately, partly because there is not adequate information. They don't have access to information the same way we do. So people may not know enough about what's available and where can we get it from. And so either because of lack of knowledge on the part of the community, or because the government service which is providing service is not adequately funded or adequately staffed, the services may not be reaching. So that's where things need to be improved. Okay? Coming to your question on parental care, your question is about orphans, right? Okay. There are two issues that happen. One is when there are orphans or one or two parents are sick. It is you're right, very often it is the girls who are expected to be the carers. Just as in any society, the mothers end up being the caring people in the home, and the fathers end up being the one to bring in resources and also use the resources in the smoke and the alcohol and everything else that they use outside before coming in with meager resources back into the family. So, and that attitude is also sort of pushed into in younger age groups, where the girls are forced to take care of the sick parents or the sick children, and therefore they miss out on schooling opportunities and education opportunities. And yet, when it comes to the way the girls are themselves treated when they have diseases, very often many societies will prefer, if a boy and a girl are both sick at the same time and they have only limited resources to get medicines, they will spend money to get the boys treated because he's supposed to go and earn money, whereas the girls will not get the same treatment. Little do they realize that for a family to run fully well, it is also important to get the girl treated. Unfortunately, because nobody pays a woman, a housewife who works at home, right? So they think that this is cheap and this is free. But if you really cost out in purely economic terms everything that a woman does and everything that a man does, you will often find that women do a lot more for household economies, and if they get the remunerative prices or the way they should be getting, probably they should be earning more than the men do. But unfortunately the norms and standards are just the other way around.